What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today on this video we'll be doing this question paper that you see here. As you can see, this is a national certificate for mathematics and 4, and this question paper was actually written on the 30th of July 2025. It took about 3 hours to be written. So as you can see here on our right, we have a QR code guys for WhatsApp channel. You can scan this QR code because we will be sharing the question paper there on the WhatsApp channel. And also I'm going to leave the link of the same WhatsApp channel where I'm going to share this question paper. On this video we're going to focus only on question 1, and then we're going to do other questions on other videos. Another thing that I'm going to do here is that I'm going to leave timestamps for each and every question so that you can watch a specific question that you like to watch if you're not willing to watch each and every question in a sequence order. Now, before we waste any time, let's go to the question. All right, guys, as you can see, here is our question 1. Question 1 consists of question 1.1, 1.2, and 1.2.1, 1.2.2, 1.1.3, and 1.4. So we're gonna start with question 1.1 here, and then we're gonna copy this question and paste it where there is space. Now, as you can see, guys, here is our 1.1. They want us to draw a neat graph of y is equaling to log base 2x and show all the x and the y intercept on the graph, right? So this is actually 2 marks. Before we start, guys, do not forget to like, subscribe, and comment to the channel. If you have any other comment, right, share this video to your friends as well. So since this is a log graph, guys, we need to use the table method. Guys, always use the table method whenever you do the log graph. It's way easier that way. There we go. So let's create the table. All right, guys, before we insert this number, what you should know is that x cannot be less than or equaling to 0, guys, right? X cannot be less than or equaling to 0 because you're gonna get an error, and when you get an error, that basically means it's gonna asymptote. So when you insert your x values, I would say rather insert 0.5 first, because 0.5 it's safer. It's gonna take you on the other side of y, and then you can insert 1, you can insert 2, you can insert 4, guys. So if we insert 0.5, if x is 0.5 on our equation there, this is gonna give us -1. If x is 1, this is gonna give us 0. If x is 2, this is gonna give us +1. And if x is 4, that is gonna give us 2, right? So this is your table. So use your table, guys, to draw your graph. Let me draw the Cartesian plane. Alright, guys, so we are done drawing the Cartesian plane. It's time for us to plot the graphs. Guys, let's plot the graph. So we have our coordinates here. We know that when x is half, our y is going to be -1. So half is between 0 and 1. So you draw a fainted line there, guys. A fainted line. And then you draw another fainted line on a -y. Wherever they meet, you put a dot there. There we go. Now let's go to the second coordinate. When x is 1, our y is 0. So y is 0 on the x-axis, and there is our 1 there on x. The third coordinate, it says when the x is 2, our y is +1. So x is 2 here. You draw a line that is going upwards like that, and you draw another line from y when it's 1. Wherever they meet, this is going to be your point. And then the last point, when x is 4, and then your y is gonna be 2. So whenever there is x here, you draw a line where it is 4, that is going vertical. Remember, you must use a ruler. I'm not using a ruler, guys. So for y, you also draw a line where it's 2. Wherever they meet, that is gonna be your point. Then from there, you connect the dots, guys. So as you connect the dots, your graph is gonna look like this. There we go. So this is our graph, guys. Make sure you show your graph intercept, guys. So our intercept here is 1 0. Very, very important. So what we usually mark here, guys, is the shape and the intercept, where it intercept at x. And also don't forget to show your y and your x axis. I hope you guys managed to understand this one. You can also use a calculator, guys, to draw this, if you can use a calculator. If this helped you to understand, do not forget to like, share, comment, and also if it so happened that you didn't understand somewhere, do not forget to rewatch at that point. And if that doesn't help, do not forget to comment on the comment section. All right, people, we are done with 1.1. Let's do 1.2. All right, guys, let's look at 1.2. As you can see, 1.2, it has this following question. So I'm going to copy this question here, guys, paste it where there is space, and then let's solve it. Okay, guys, here is our 1.2. Now, on this question here, they want us to draw a neat graph of x plus square root of 16 minus y squared is equaling to 0. So this is out of 2 marks, guys. So this question here, guys, it required us to simplify it. So if you didn't notice, then you wouldn't able to get this. Look, we have x plus root 16, right, minus y squared. All this is equaling to 0. So we were supposed to transpose this root 16 minus y squared to the right hand side. So we're going to be left with x is equaling to minus root 16 minus y squared. There we go. And now when it's like this, guys, this become our semicircle. If you still remember the semicircles that we have a semicircle like this one, where we can say negative x is equaling to negative root r squared minus y squared. Yes, these are semicircles, meaning now 16 here, guys, is equaling to r squared, right? But we are not looking for r squared, we are looking for r. We're going to have r, but the square root of 16 is going to give us 4. So this semicircle, guys, it's actually the semicircle on the left hand side. So I'm going to show you what do I mean by that. First of all, you're going to have to draw your Cartesian plane. Let me draw my Cartesian plane very quickly. Right, as you can see, the points here, you don't really have to write 1 2 3 4 5. You just have to write based on our radius there, guys. Our radius is 4. This one here, how do you know whether it's gonna be a left semicircle or right semicircle, or upper or lower? First of all, we look at x there. As you can see, x is the subject of the formula. So meaning when x is the subject of the formula on a semicircle, our graph is going to cut whether to the left or to the right. Now we know that it's going to cut on x-axis. Now the second thing that you must look at is the sign here. If the sign is negative, it means now our semicircle is going to intersect on the negative side of x-axis. If it was positive, it was going to intersect on the positive side of x-axis. So remember, our radius is 4. So the point that we're going to cut our graph here is going to be positive 4 on y-axis, and then on the x-axis is going to be negative 4, because remember we have negative them, right? And then on the y-axis is going to be negative 4 again. You just connect the dot like this, guys. There we go. So this is our semicircle, guys. So do not forget to label these graphs, guys. Rather label it after simplifying it, because this also sometimes it has marks, the labeling. So this is our graph, guys, for question 1.2. Really, it was not that difficult. I think the part where it was confusing, it was simplification part. But once you figure that part out, then the graph, it's simple. All right, people, I hope you managed to understand how to draw this one. Just in case you didn't understand, you can leave a comment on the comment section, and also you can rewatch at the point where you got lost. But if it so happen that this video helped you to understand how to draw a semicircle, especially this one that is given to us, do not forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. You can always support our channel by hitting the super thanks button. where you can able to donate a certain amount of money. But if you can't, like a comment will be highly appreciated. We are done with 1.2, guys. Let's look at the next question. All right, guys, now that we are done with 1.2, let's look at the sub questions. Then we have 1.2.1 and 1.2.2. I'm going to take both these two questions here. I'm going to post it on the empty space, and then we do them, guys, because they are very simple and each it's 1 mark. So let's copy them and let's post them where there is space. All right, guys, here are the questions: 1.2.1, 1.2.2. Let's first look at 1.2.1, which is 1 mark there. Now, what is it that they want us to do with 1.2.1? So they are asking this following question: is the graph x plus root of 16 minus y squared is equaling to 0 a function or a relation? So the question here, it's asking the graph that we drew earlier on 1.2, is it a function or a relation? Guys, let me explain the following. I'm going to use a different color. This time I'm going to use blue. When a graph, right, cuts y or intersect with y axis twice, it's a relation. As you can see, this one that we have here, it intersect with y axis twice, so we can say this graph here, it's a relation. It's a function only when it intersect with y axis once. So when it's like that, just know it's a function. But there's another way of finding out, guys. If you don't want to use this method, you can always draw a line from x, which is part of the domain. In this case, any x value that is greater than -4 but less than 0. You can draw a vertical line here. Let's say we have -2 there, guys. Do you see? You can draw a vertical line there that is passing at -2. If it cuts our graph twice or more, just know that it's a relation. So it's another method that you can use, guys, to figure out whether it's a relation or a function. But the best way is always look at the y-intercept first. If your graph intercept y twice, it's a relation. If it intercepts it once, it's a function. If that doesn't happen, then you use the second method, where you take an x value that is within the domain of the graph and draw a vertical line. If it cut the graph once, just know it's a function. If it cuts it twice, just know it's a relation. So to answer this question here, guys, we say our graph here, it's a relation. There we go. So you get your 1 mark there. Now 1.2.2, the question goes like this: is the graph x plus root of 16 minus y squared is equaling to 0 continuous or discontinuous? So the question is asking, is our graph continuous or discontinuous? Now, in order for you guys to know which is which between the two, let me first explain what is meant by continuous. Continuous, guys, it's when you can draw a graph without breaking a line or lifting a hand. I'll make an example with the graph that we have here. As you can see from here, can we draw this graph without breaking a line or lifting a hand? You can draw this graph without breaking a line or lifting a hand. So this graph here, we can say it's continuous. Now, a graph that is discontinuous, guys, is a graph that you cannot draw a complete graph without lifting your hand. An example, it's a hyperbola, guys, right? Let me show you. A hyperbola, it's a graph like this one here. Let's say this hyperbola of ours, it's on the second quadrant and the fourth quadrant, right? Do you see, guys? In order for us to draw this hyperbola, we have to draw this part here without lifting a hand. Do you guys see? And then the second part, we have to break the line, or you have to lift the hand to draw it. So when it's like this, guys, a graph becomes a discontinuous graph. I hope you guys managed to understand this. Really, it's not that difficult. These were 3 marks, guys. So the final answer here, we can say here, guys, the graph of ours that we have here, it's continuous. So write continuous there. There we go. So those are the 2 3 marks that were given to you, guys. I hope you managed to get these 2 marks, guys. If this part of the video helped you to understand, do not forget to like and share. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel. And again, guys, if you got lost somewhere, rewatch at the point where you got lost. And if that doesn't help, you can leave a comment on the comment section. Right, guys, let's go and do the next question. All right, guys, let's look at 1.3. Now, 1.3, this is our question here. Again, I'm going to copy this question, paste it where there is space, and let's do it. All right, here is our 1.3. Now, this graph here, guys, it looks tricky. First, let's just read the question. They say draw any graph of x plus 4 over y is equaling to 0. Right. So if you didn't pay attention here, this question was gonna trick you. But this is actually hyperbola, guys. All you have to do here was to make 4 subject to the formula. Let me show you how. You have your x plus 4 divided by y. This is equaling to 0. If we take this 4 over y to the right hand side, we're gonna be left with x here, and this is gonna be negative 4 over y, right? And if you cross multiply this y here, we're gonna have x multiplied by y. All this is equaling to negative 4. As you can see now, this here is our hyperbola. Remember, the general formula for hyperbola is as follow. We have x multiplied by y is equaling to c, or y is equaling to c over x. These are the two that we are familiar with. So this one here, it required us guys to simplify first. So if you pay attention to this question paper, especially question 1, it required you guys to simplify most of these graphs here. But anyway, let's draw our graph. Remember, this is our formula now. So to draw the hyperbola, guys, also is best to use the table method, right? So let's use the table method, guys. All right, guys, as you can see, here's our table. Now, what you should know, guys, is that on our table, x cannot be equaling to 0. Guys, x cannot be equaling to 0 because here our hyperbola, our graph asymptotes here, guys, our graph asymptote. So if inside the values of x rather start from negative and then to positive, but there should be no 0 inside the table there for x value. So what I can advise you guys to do the multiple of 4, because 4 is our constant, but you can use any numbers as long as there is no 0 for x. So let's do it. So I'm gonna use negative 4 and then negative 2 and negative 1, and then we're gonna have 1, we're gonna have 2, and we're gonna have positive 4. There we go. And then obviously when we use this formula, remember we're gonna use this one here where we can say y is equaling to negative 4 over x, right? So we're just gonna substitute the x values on this formula here. So when x is negative 4, it means our y is gonna be positive. Do you guys see? When x is negative 2, it means our y is gonna be 2. And when x is negative 1, it means our y is gonna be 4, right? And when x is 1, it means our y is gonna be negative 4. When x is 2, it means our y is gonna be negative 2. And when our x is 4, it means our y is gonna be negative 1. There we go. So we have our coordinates here. So it's time for us to draw the graph. So I am going to draw the Cartesian plane, and then we plot our graph. Right, guys, so here is our Cartesian plane here. So let's look at the points here. So let's start with the first point here. When x is negative 4, y is gonna be 1. So our x is negative 4 here. Again, we draw a line that is vertical like that with a ruler, and then you come to when y is 1, and then you also draw a line that is horizontal using a ruler. Obviously, wherever these points meet, this is gonna be your point, right? Let me erase this before it confuses us here, right? And then we look at this point here, guys, right? When x is negative 2, y is positive 2. So we're going to draw a line going upwards, and then for y we're going to draw a line that is horizontal going to the left, remember, from 2, and then wherever they meet, this is going to be our point. And then the point here when x is negative 1 when y is 4. So if x is -1, we're going to draw a line that is vertical going upwards on -1, and then for 4, horizontal line that is going to the left. So here is our point here. As you can see, this is going to be our graph. Let's plot this side of the graph there. There we go. So our graph is gonna look like that. Now it's time for us to look at the fourth quadrant. So when x is +1, what is our y? It's gonna be -4. So we're gonna draw a line that is going downward, and then for y, we're gonna draw a line that is horizontal, that is going to the right. So this point here is gonna be our point. So we come to this one here. We have when x is 2 and y is -2. So we're also going to draw a line, a fainted line, guys. Remember, you only draw a fainted line, right? And then when x is or y is going to be what here? -2. So y is going to be -2. You draw a line that is horizontal to the right. So wherever they meet, that is the point. And then the last one here, guys, it's when x is 4, and then our y is going to be -1. So x is 4 here. You draw a line that is vertical, right? Remember, fainted line. And then our y is -1 here. You draw a line that is horizontal going to the right, and that is it. And then you connect the point, guys, right? Connect the point, right? So this is our graph here, even though it doesn't look pretty, but it is our graph at the end of the day, guys, right? It is our graph at the end of the day. So your graph is supposed to look like something like this one here, guys, right? It should have a line that is asymptoting on x and y on the second quadrant, and also the line should be asymptoting on x and y on the fourth quadrant. So this is a hyperbola graph. Again, guys, do not make that mistake when you draw the hyperbola graph. Rather use the table method, and also never allow x to be equaling to 0, because this graph asymptotes on x-axis and y-axis, especially when you are using this formula here, guys, right? Remember, we are substituting the x value, so x cannot be equaling to 0. All right, guys, I hope you managed to understand. If this video helped you to understand how to draw this graph, do not forget to like, share, and also comment on the comment section. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. If you did not understand, do not forget to watch at the point where you get lost. And if that doesn't help, also you leave a comment on the comment section to ask a question. I'll try to help you to my level best. Guys, you can always support the channel by hitting the super thanks button to donate on our channel. If you cannot do that, a like and a comment will be really appreciated. All right, guys, we are done with 1.3. Let's go and do the last question, which is gonna be 1.4. All right, guys, let's look at the last question, which is 1.4. Here's our question here. So we're gonna copy it, paste it where there is space, and let's solve it. All right, guys, here is our 1.4, the last question of question 1. Now they want us to draw a neat graph of x divided by 2 plus y divided by 3 is equaling to 1. Guys, this question here, if you were in a rush, you were going to confuse it with the ellipse, right? But as you can see, ellipse, it has x squared over a squared plus y squared over b squared. All this is equaling to 1. There is no squares here, guys. So if we don't have squares, this basically means that this is actually a straight line graph. I hope you managed to see this. I hope you managed to see this, because this was a bit tricky if you're in a rush though. So we need to simplify it further. So let me just rewrite it here. X divided by 2, y divided by 3, all this is equaling to 1, right? So we need to make y subject formula. We have to take x divided by 2 to the right hand side. If we do that, we're going to be left with y divided by 3 is equaling to negative x divided by 2 plus 1. Remember, when you transpose x divided by 2 to the right hand side, it's going to become negative. Then from there, we multiply by 3 throughout so that we can have y. So if we multiply by 3, we're going to be left with y there. Here we're going to be left with 3x divided by 2, but then 1 is gonna be multiplied by 3, so this is gonna be 3. So this here, guys, is actually our equation. Now from here you must start, guys. Like I said before, if you've been watching other questions based on question 1, these graphs, they needed you to simplify almost all of them. So we need to find the intercept. So to draw a straight line graph, guys, is very, very simple. You need to find the intercept. So we can say when x is 0, what is our y, right? So we're gonna use this formula here and then substitute wherever x is 0. So we can say y is equaling to -3/2 multiplied by 0, because now instead of writing x, we're gonna write 0 plus 3. So y is gonna be equaling to 3. So we can say this point here, when x is 0, y is going to be 3. Guys, to draw a straight line graph, we just need 2 points, right? So this is point number 1, and then we just need the second point. We're going to call it point B. Now we're going to do similar thing there. We can say when y is 0, what is our x, right? So meaning we say here, wherever there is y, we put 0 on our equation there. So we're gonna say 0 is equaling to -3/2 x plus 3, right? Then we just have to make x subject of the formula. I'm gonna continue on top here, guys. If we transpose this +3 to the left hand side, it's gonna become -3. So it's gonna be -3 is equaling to -3/2, right, x. Do you guys see? And then from there we multiply by 2 throughout, guys. If you multiply by 2 throughout, this 2 and that 2, they will multiply, they will divide each other. And then this side on the left, you're gonna have -6, right? And then we're gonna be left here with -3x. And then we divide by -3 throughout, -3. So our x on the left hand side here, we're gonna be left with +2, and then on the right hand side, we're gonna left with x. So we can say point B, when x is 2, our y is 0. So we just need these 2 points, guys, for us to draw the graph. Simple, straightforward, guys, right? So from here, what you need to do is to draw the Cartesian plane, and then we plot our graph. Alright, guys, here is our Cartesian plane. Now it's time for us to plot these points here. Let's start with point A. When x is 0, our y is 3. So point A is this one here, guys. When x is 0, our y is 3. So you can write when x is 0, y is 3. There we go. And then point B, it says when our x is 2, our y is 0. So this is the point here, guys. You can write it here. When y is 2, x is 0. So from there, you just connect the dots, guys. So let me connect these dots. There we go. So here is our graph then. So this graph here, we can name it y is equaling to -3/2x plus 3. So this is our straight line graph, guys. I hope it was not that difficult, guys, to draw the straight line graph. I hope you managed to see the challenge here and the trick that they were trying to trick you. So we are done with question 1, guys. If this part of the video helped you to understand how to draw the straight line graph, especially the one that is given to us, do not forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel. All right, if again you didn't understand, go to the part where you didn't understand, rewatch, and if that doesn't help, guys, do not forget to leave a comment on the comment section. Guys, you can always support our channel by hitting the super thanks button for donation if you want to donate on our channel, but a like and a comment will be highly appreciated, guys. All right, I hope you managed to get all these questions. Do not forget to subscribe as well. So we will be doing question 2. Make sure that you hit the notification so that whenever I upload question 2, you can able to see it. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. Till next time, cheers.